operas about fidelity.
This was his one and only opera. This was Beethoven's, alpha and omega.
We were talking about it the other day, that if Puccini or Verdi had stopped at one, what would we have? Nothing.
It's the story of faithfulness. Yeah. So.
You have comedic parts and dramatic parts, and they tend to shift back and forth.
Würde ich Frauenkleidung tragen?
Ja.
Warum nicht? In der richtigen Situation.
Ja.
Oh, what Lenore is doing? For sure, absolutely.
If I was devoted enough to someone, I would. I'd go through with some crazy scheme like that.
It is a comedy, but it's not a comedy. It is a drama, but it's not a drama.
It's interesting because what you see is not necessarily what you hear. The music is very German, it's very Beethoven, but it takes place in Spain.
It is a story that in combination with the music, which the music itself tells every moment of the emotions of the character, the happiness, the sorrow, the longing of each person in each moment. The music enhances and can take a person to a place that they weren't before.
It's got some moments certainly that are very somber and very difficult, but also, you've got the interaction between Marceline and Giacchino, and that kind of brings a little bit of light and I don't want to say comedy, but it brings some lighter moments to an otherwise dismal story. Well, Marceline and Giacchino have very different interpretations of how our roles interact. He wants me desperately, or at least thinks he does.
I want her to love me, but
his motivations aren't entirely clear, but he spends a lot of time chasing after me and trying to win my affections and try to convince me to marry him. And my interpretation is absolutely that's not going to happen. So rejected.
And she's very clear.
be honest, I never loved
I
you.
don't hear it. I hear what I want to hear.
Right.
They do this all the time. That's practically all they do in their free time. Because, who else is there to talk to? She's not going to be talking to the priests or the prisoners. There's Fidelio, but the funny thing is she's so in love with Fidelio.
I think I am. She thinks she is. I think that Marceline's idea of love is still working itself out because she is very young. But she's looking for a way out, and when this young man, Fidelio, comes into the picture, into the prison, she is immediately drawn to him. I think for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is that he's coming from the outside in, and he's potentially her ticket from the inside out.
It's this idea. Here's somebody who's a little more sophisticated, interesting, mysterious, and she's like, a moth to a flame. She's like, oh, interesting, mysterious man.